Hello and welcome to your geology course. So my name is Todd Luther. I will be your instructor for this course. And so this is Geology 101. Physical Geology is the name of the course. And so your content, both your lecture and your lab, will be provided for you online. And this is what's called an asynchronous course, which just means that the content is available for you to access when you have the time, when it's convenient for you. There are due dates, of course, so you have assignments that are due at a certain time, but we're not going to meet. I'm not going to say, I need you to be on your computer at Tuesday at 10 o'clock so that we can do something. I'm going to provide you with the information, and then you're going to go through it when you can, and of course, complete the assignments by the due date. And that's kind of how the course will work. So this video is just an overview of the course and a little bit about how Canvas works for those of you who haven't used it before. And so what you'll see here is this is the view that you should see when you're on your course. And so there's some navigation tools over here on the left. So the ones in the dark blue here are the kind of global navigations for Canvas. The dashboard will show you all of the courses that you have a Canvas template or shell for. Not all courses use Canvas. And then the calendar will show you the calendar, and it'll have the due dates of assignments in there. So that's useful to kind of manage your time. The inbox for this course anyway is the best way to contact me. So if you click there, it's basically just an email. And so you can email me through Canvas. Now, of course, you can email me through any other email client. But because the way Canvas is set up with Mesa, when you send me an email through the system, I can have it forward it to my phone. Because, of course, I'm not always sitting at my computer. And so it's nice that I can get an alert, basically, that said I got an email. And then I can respond fairly quickly if you have a question that you're working on an assignment or something and you have limited time to complete your work. So that seems to work pretty well. And then, of course, you have these kind of, what are they called? You have these links here that work within the course. So for us in this course, really, the thing that you're going to spend 90% of your time is in this link here called modules. But of course, there's announcements. If there's something that comes up that I'm trying to tell you, remind you, or if there's a change in anything with the course, certainly you want to check there. The syllabus we're going to go through really quickly, but you should look through that before you start the course so you understand what your responsibilities are. And of course, grades, nice to look at the grades because sometimes I might make a mistake. As I'm grading some of your content, I might, input the wrong number or whatever, or if you've missed an assignment and there's a problem, right? So make sure you're checking your grades as we go. And if there's any issues, obviously you want to reach out to me. So those are the ones that we're just going to use the most. And so what I'm asking you to do in the beginning, of course, is go through this video, go through the syllabus, and then we're going to acknowledge the syllabus. So there's this little online quiz that says, yes, I've read the quiz and I've read the syllabus and I understand everything and I'm on board. Let's go. So that's what we're going to do. So let me just jump to the syllabus so we can take a quick look. Now, yes, you should be reading through this so you understand everything. This is just the Reader's Digest version of this. So information on how to contact me, my office hours. I am teaching in-person courses as well as online, so I will be on campus at Southern and Dobson at Mesa. So if you need to come by or would like to chat, you're welcome to do that. My online office hours, they're listed there, but I'm available every day online. Like I said, I'll be on my computer probably every day messing around with the course. So if you have an issue, for sure, go through this inbox here. And then, so don't hesitate to reach out to me at any point that you're having questions or difficulties with the course, and we'll figure that out. All right, what else are we doing? So a little bit about the course, right? We're going to look at earth processes and earthquakes and volcanoes and rocks and minerals and all that kind of good stuff. There's an online textbook that I'm going to refer to occasionally, so it'll be a link that'll just jump you there. But if you want to peruse through the online textbook yourself, the link is there. There's no real requirement except that you have to have a good internet. And, there's a lot of other free, word processing and things like that. A PowerPoint is useful, but you can get a viewer if you can't get the full PowerPoint. And then so how it's going to work is, and I'll show you in just a moment, but you're going to have a lecture portion because this is a lab science. So you have a lecture and a lab portion. So the lecture portion is going to be presented to you in a couple ways, the lecture information that I want you to understand. And so in general, there'll be a PowerPoint file, but then there'll be a video of me kind of walking through the PowerPoint. So if we were in class, of course, a lot of times I'll have a PowerPoint up on a screen and then we'll discuss the content. We'll go through the slides as kind of, cue notes just to kind of keep us on track and show us some pictures that might be relevant. We'll walk through that in a lecture. It's kind of like that online. That's what the video is for. But of course, you do have the file itself, the PowerPoint file. Sometimes there'll be some additional files or information that I want you to look at or read. And that's going to be the main focus for the content. And then there'll be a quiz that's going to evaluate your understanding of that information. In addition, you'll have 2 other assignments in the lecture portion of the course. There'll be an article that is related to the content that we're discussing. And that article could be just a web link, could be a PDF, something like that. So you'll read through that article, and then there'll be a quiz over that content. And then finally, there'll be a homework assignment. And this can be lots of different things. It could be a video that I want you to watch. It could be, a calculation that I want you to do. It could be a sketch that I want you to do. It could be another reading assignment. So it can be a little bit of everything. And that is something that you're just going to complete and submit. And so those 3 things, the content quiz, the article quiz, and the homework, will make up your lecture grade. And you'll do that every week. So how the class is structured is every week we'll do a different module and it'll cover a different topic. And within that week, you'll have those 3 assignments to complete. And you will have a lab assignment to complete. So the lab assignment for this course is going to be something where you're going to click a link within Canvas and it's going to take you outside of Canvas to a web page that is the lab assignment. And so for that, and I'll show you that, of course, too, just a second. So you'll work your way through the lab assignment. You'll submit a score that you get as you move through the lab assignment. Now, the thing about the lab is there's 2 things. One, you need to get a 70% or higher in order to record a score. But you can repeat the assignment. So if you go through the lab exercise and you don't do as well as you would like, if you get below a 70, you'll have to retake it. If you get a 72 and you want a 99, you can retake it as many times as you would like to improve your score. Once you're happy with that, you're going to end up submitting something to me, and that's how I'll know your score. And then you will have a quiz that is over that work that you just did. So you'll have 2 assignments for the lab portion, 3 assignments for the lecture portion. Right? So that's kind of how it's going to work for the entire course. And here's kind of the grade breakdown. So here's the 5 assignments that you're going to work on weekly. Attendance is always a little challenging here online, but basically if you're missing work, right, that can basically count as not attending. But of course, if you have issues or challenges, don't hesitate to reach out and say, hey, this happened, that happened, I need some help, I need some extra time. Whatever it is, communication certainly is the key here so you don't get dropped or anything weird like that. And then the rest of this information is kind of the standard stuff you would find in your syllabus. Please read through that. In the end, there is kind of a schedule of how things will be laid out. So it's here. It's also in your calendar. It's also going to show up in the modules section and things like that. So make sure you read through this and then you'll need to acknowledge that. So what we're going to do now is jump to the modules. This is where you're going to hang out almost the whole time you're in the course. So this is what you see. These are the modules. So you have a getting started module. This is where you'll need to take the syllabus quiz and acknowledgement. And then you'll see that there is module 1. So there is the lecture module and the lab module. You'll need to complete both lecture and lab every week. And you can see, I know it's grayed out because it's not available yet, that there are 1, 2, 3 assignments for the lecture portion and 1, 2 assignments for the lab. And the course is going to be consistent that way. So every week you'll have a new topic. Plate tectonics, 1, 2, 3 for the lecture portion, 1, 2 for the lab portion. And nothing is going to change. It's going to be that way all the way through. So once you get used to the format after the first week or two, no surprises. It's laid out exactly the same. You'll get in the rhythm, and hopefully it'll be easy and you'll be able to work your way through. The reason that it's grayed out is for 2 reasons. One is it's locked, so it's unavailable. But for the first module and the first module only, you'll need to complete this before you can get access to the first module. So once we do that, then you'll have access to the first module. After that, all the modules are released on Monday, and then you have the entire week, and everything is due Sunday at midnight. And that, once again, will be the same every single week. So, the story is, of course, plan accordingly. Yes, I know everyone wants to wait to the last minute, and you want to do everything Sunday. Some of you might be able to pull that off, but there certainly are parts of the work that might take some time. Remember, an in-person class, you're meeting 2 to 3 times a week for 2.5 hours, and then you have a lab for 2.5 hours. That's 5 hours a week, and that's just in class time, and then assignments outside. So we're arguing, 10 hours a week. That's a tough cram in on a Sunday night. Now, not every module will take 10 hours. Some might take shorter, some might take longer, but we're trying to give you the online equivalent to an in-person class. So the work isn't like it takes 2 minutes and you're done. And we're trying to replicate an in-person course. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get out of the student view so that you can see how things would work. So here are our modules. So once they're available to you, what you'll want to do always is click the first page in the module. It'll give you an overview of the assignments. Same with the lab portion. Click the first page and it'll give you an overview of what you need to do. And then you can move through to the assignments. So let's take a look at the first page. So all of the first pages of all the modules will look something like this. They'll have a header. They will have a short video, not like this one, a short video that's an overview of what is expected of you for this particular module. So it's just a quick review. If there's something that I know is a little challenging or students struggle with, I'll mention that in this little video. But basically, it's just a little intro to the video. And then you'll have your content. So here is the main lecture quiz and content here. So there is a PowerPoint. It talks about the interior of the Earth for this module. Here's the video that walks through that PowerPoint, like if we were in a lecture in person. There is some additional information that I want you to look at, and that's here. So your mission here is to go through the video, the PowerPoint, the reading, however works best for you. If it's easier just to look at the PowerPoint and scroll through the slides and take some notes, great. Listen to this and take some notes, great. Read a little bit, take some notes, great. Make sure you look those notes over and then go ahead and take the lecture quiz. Now the lecture quiz is timed. Now look, it's not timed to give you anxiety. There are many ways that people attempt to keep people from gaming the system, I suspect, or using the internet or Googling everything. We don't want you to Google everything, or, you can use lockdown browsers and cameras. We're not doing all that. The simplest way is to give you a time limit that says, look, if you went through the content and you had a basic understanding of what was in there, then you should be able to move through the quiz with no problem and have time left. But if you didn't and you just click it and say, I'm going to try to Google everything, there just isn't enough time typically to Google all the answers and try to figure it out. So it's not the best system ever, but we're going to work at it as it's an encourager to make you look at the content prior to taking the lecture quiz. And similar for the article. The article you will read through, you click here, it'll either come up in Canvas or you can download it and read it. Once you're done, as you go through, take some little notes, and then you can go ahead and take the article quiz, which is also timed. The articles typically are not huge. We're not giving you 20-page articles. So go through the content. When you feel like you understand it, go ahead and take that. And then finally, the homework, remember, is a little bit of anything and everything. Untimed, there's never a time limit on the homework. In this instance, I'm just asking you to go through a chapter in the online book. And so here it's basically just about science in general. So when you click this link to the homework assignment, it's just going to open a page. Canvas is going to call it a quiz, but it is not timed. And you're just going to answer some questions. So you can do that, if you want to take 2 days to do that, you can. But you'll answer those questions and you'll submit that to me and I will grade that for you. And so every module will be set up this way. So once you, like I said, get used to the format, there's no surprises, right? You come in, you watch your little intro that tells you what you need to do this week. You go through the content here and take a quiz, go through the article, take a quiz, and work through your homework. And you're done with the lecture portion. Remember, we still have a lab. So you can go hit the next button and go to the next page, or you can jump back to modules and jump around. So there's multiple ways to move through the modules. So if I hit next, I'm going to come to a second page. So all the modules have an additional resource page. So I encourage you to look at them if you feel you need to. Everybody learns differently. Sometimes different approaches, different images, different videos help. And so I try to put at least a couple different things here for you. So here is some more information you could read through in a little different format. There's a video from this Earth Revealed series, which is a collection of different content about geology that you could work through. So they're always here for you to take a look at. I recommend you do that. So I'm going to jump back to the modules and show you, right? So that was the main lecture we were just at, had all the content for the lecture. Here was the resources page, which you could jump to. Now remember, once you're in this main page here, there's a link that takes you directly to these things. You could jump there and take it, or you could just click here and take it. So once again, multiple ways to get to the assignments. But of course, we want to view this page first. Do that, go through the content, and then go ahead and do that. For the labs, same thing. This is a little intro page. It's going to tell you what you're going to do this week. You're going to hit the next button, and there's going to be a link here that's going to take you outside of Canvas and have you work on the lab. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to have to make a little adjustment here. Let me do this, because it doesn't fit in my little video here. Let me bring this back to me, stretch it out a little bit, and we should be okay. So here is, maybe, let's do, how about that? So there's our lab. This is what it's going to look like. And then you can hit start lesson, and you're going to see over in the right, there's 0 out of 50. And then you're going to just work through the lab, reading the content. If there are files you can download, there'll be maps that you can view within here or download and view. And the questions will be in these little pop-ups. And so how you get your points is you're going to click this and it's going to bring up a pop-up window. Make sure you don't have a pop-up blocker on. And you're going to answer these questions as you go. And so I'm going to say that this is the right answer. I hit check. It says, yes, that's good. I'm going to close the pop-up out. And now you can say that I got a point for that. And then you're just going to keep going through and clicking these little pop-ups here. And some have multiple points. Some are just 1 point. And if you get them correct, it'll show here. If you get a question incorrect, you can't at this point immediately go back and redo it. you have to move through the rest of the lab. Once you've completed the lab, and if your score isn't what you want it to be, you can then reload the page and start the lab again. So if you miss one, it's no big deal. Remember, you don't have to get 100% or anything, but we want to understand. So there's matching, and there's drag and drop, and there's multiple choices through here. So you're just going to go through all this content, right? You're going to read, look at charts. Okay, how do I work the chart? So you'll click here, and it'll say, what prefix is applied to 1,000. You're like, oh, kilometer. So you choose that as the answer. So you'll work your way through all that content that way. Once you get to the end, when you've answered the last question here, you need to do two things. First, you need a summary. So you want to type your name in here, and I need a summary. So here's the score summary. Okay, you'll want to screen capture this, put it in a place where you could find it. And then second, you'll want to email me the score. So if you click email the score, it'll send that to me in email. So you'll do that, and it'll say it's been sent. You can go back and make sure you have your print summary. But then when you go back to here, you'll have to upload the image that you took, right? And so this will allow you to do that here. When you're in student view, it'll say, submit, and you'll submit that through here, right? So this is your file upload. You can kind of see that here. So those are the two things you'll need to do in order to get credit for the lab. I need both the email and I need that file. Okay. So that's how, and same thing, look, every week the labs will be in that identical format. It'll work that way for 16 weeks, exactly the same way. And then finally, what you'll do is you'll take a quiz over what you just did in the lab. Okay, so you'll go through that and answer those questions, and you'll be done. You'll be like, yay, I made it. And so as we go back here, you can see, right, 3 assignments for the lecture, 2 for the lab. Of course, this one is outside, right? It's going to jump you outside of Canvas, open in a new tab, work your way through that, give me the email and the image, and you're good. And then take the lab quiz. There, we did it. So I know it's a long video. Some of you, you know what you're doing. You can blaze through all this stuff. Others, I just wanted to make sure you understood how the course worked. And like I said, you can see we're going to do the Earth's interior. We're going to do plate tectonics. We're going to do geologic time. Now look, the first 3 labs and lectures are going to be out of sync, right? We're going to talk about plate tectonics, but we're doing topographic maps in lab. Mainly that's because I need to teach you about maps so that we can use maps in the lab. So that's kind of why we're off topic a little bit. And that's true up until we do module 3. But after that, try to sync up the labs better. So here it's minerals in the lecture, minerals in the lab. And so there's overlap here. The labs are supposed to support the lecture. We're doing igneous rocks, we're doing igneous rocks. We're doing volcanoes, we're doing volcanoes. We're doing sedimentary rocks. You get the picture, right? But the format is consistent throughout the course. Hopefully that's helpful for you. The due dates are consistent, right? Everything is available on Mondays. For the modules, you got to do a lecture module and a lab module. They are due on Sunday night by midnight. And that's how we're going to roll. Okay. So questions, comments, concerns, oh my gosh, too much information, whatever it is, remember that you can always reach out to me and ask me questions, whether that's a content question or a, just a logistical question. Whatever it is that you need help with, please don't hesitate to contact me. And I think that's going to be good for now because this video is certainly long enough. Make sure you go ahead and take the syllabus quiz before you can get access to the content and move along. Other than that, there might be a few things that I've forgotten. I apologize if I did, but we can always update that through the announcements page or email. So I think that's it. So good luck. Hopefully you learned a little something along the way and maybe have a little fun. All right.